Hey guys! Today I will teach you the opening theme of Bagatelle number 25 by Ludwig van Beethoven, also known as for Elise. I've had several students request to play this piece in the past. But before we get started, I would like to explain a few things about body mechanics, fundamental to good piano playing, that I explain to all my students, which is consistent with my philosophy to play the piano in a natural and efficient manner, with flexible joints and resilient fingertips. All of this while having fun. When the fingers move, where does the motion originate? Let's do this exercise together. With your left hand index finger, follow the movement of your right hand middle finger. At first, you're gonna feel like you can move the finger completely, but continue to trace down the motion until you can move it completely. Do you feel the tendon in the middle of your palm? That is where the finger's movement originate, right in the middle of your palm. That is because they connect to the metacarpal bones, which are located right in the middle of your palm. Now wave, hi Ellie! You see, this motion is effortless. If you use this motion to play the piano, you'll be able to play fast and pain-free. Secondly, you should remember to keep your wrists supple so that it moves with the fingers. For example, if you're playing with the pinky, your wrist should move towards the pinky and align the forearm muscles with the pinky. If you're playing with the thumb, your wrist should move towards the thumb and align the forearm muscles with the thumb. If you're playing with the middle finger, you should stay center so that your forearm muscles are aligned with the middle finger. The vertical and horizontal alignments should be continuous and precise. So far, we have looked into the horizontal alignment. Now let's talk about the vertical alignment. When we play the thumb, the wrist should be lowered. As we play the second finger, the wrist should be raised slightly. As Gorky Sandor describes it on his book on piano playing, and I quote, "The second finger's phalanx and metacarpal bone join at a higher point than the place where the thumb's metacarpal bone and wrist meet. As we continue to play the third and fourth finger, our hand and forearm muscles will continue to raise, all the way up to the fifth finger, which is going to be the highest point in the hand. In sum, we want to lower our thumb and we want to raise our hand for the pinky." Now, there is only one exception, and I hope this doesn't confuse you guys. When we have a slur, the beginning of the slur is going to have a downward motion, and the end of the slur is going to have an upward motion. For example, it's not the same to say content that content. Following this rule will allow you to phrase music in the correct way. So, having said that, if you start the phrase on a pinky, you're still gonna go down, but you're not gonna go quite as much down. Now, if you are going to end the phrase on a thumb, you'll still go up, but you wouldn't go up quite as much. Now let's dive into our piece for today. I'll demonstrate it first. Let's analyze our first musical sentence. But first, a little background about this piece. Musicologists haven't been able to agree what's the true story behind it. Some says that Beethoven wrote this piece for his student Teresa, who was teaching a younger girl, and also presumably that he might have had affection for her, romantical affection. Another story says that one of his friends had a little girl, and this girl asked him, "Master, why everything you write is so hard?" So he wrote something more simpler for her. But whatever the case is, this piece was written for a younger beginner, and he starts these students with the basics, the musical alphabet, We have an a B, and a C. He starts the move with the ABCs. This first sentence is made out of two parts, A, B, C. A, going to the B, going to the C. And now we're gonna add the most famous part. This piece is written in the key of A minor. We can tell that because there is no accidentals at the beginning, there is no sharps or flats, and also it starts on an A and it ends on an A. So for the left hand, we start with the scale degree number 1, Roman number 1. This Roman number 1 symbolizes that A is the first note in the A scale. Now, the second note that we're gonna see is E. E is gonna be the fifth note in relationship to A. A, B, C, D, E. So we're gonna cite Roman number 5. And then our A repeats. So we have a 1-5-1. That's one of the most common progressions in music. If putting hands together seems too challenging for you at first, no problem. Play only the downbeat on the left hand. The downbeat is the first beat on each measure, like this. As you practice your hands separate more and more, you will be able to put them together with more ease. And thus, you'll be able to play like this. Our second sentence is really similar to the first one, but the ending of it is different. In music, it's really important that you look at patterns. So this pattern right here is going to be the same as the one we had at the beginning, with the only exception that there is this extra E. But then we're also gonna spell A-B, but then instead of doing A-B-C, we're gonna turn right back to the A. Now the left hand is gonna be exactly the same as the opening. We're gonna have an A, or Roman number 1, then we're gonna have a 5, which is gonna be our E, and then back to the A. So again, if hands together is too challenging for you, that is absolutely normal, especially if you're a beginner. So just try your downbeats. And as you play your hands independently more and more and more, you'll notice that hands together is not a problem anymore. Now, a little disclaimer about this that I tell my students all the time. It's only 3. 1, 2, 3. Because this is one of the most popular pieces around, people feel like they can do as many as they want. But Beethoven only wrote 3. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you'd like to continue learning this piece, or perhaps another one, you can book your first free lesson at the Eastside Music School. Now, you stay safe, and I'll see you next time.